What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. And as always, each episode is brought to you by All I Need Skate Co. I'm going to go to the website, allineedskate.com, or you can go allineedapparel.com. It'll take you to the same place. First thing you'll see is young Billy Drown steezing out a backside 180 on this yellow bump-to-bar in Taunton. Young Billy shreds. And if you scroll down from there, you'll see all our vlogs. The newest one that just went up today is how to skateboard in a hurricane with myself, Derek Fukuhara, and Timmy Knuth. And we have tons of video content and audio content on the site as well. If you scroll to the top of the page and hit the store link, it'll take you to our online skate shop. And I'll give you a rundown because we just updated it. We have a bunch of new apparel. So we have our dress tee. My favorite would be the worker tee. It comes in safety green and safety orange. We got a re-up on Thrive, Prosper, Rise decks. We got also some more Seafood Vengeance. Our Nug Jars on there. Check out our Core Fleece knee-length shorts. I sleep in these things every night. So comfy. With the drawstring, ties up. These things are awesome to skate into. Wartime Series decks are out there. Our Puffer Fish tee is up there. Limited supplies. I don't know what we have in stock, but you can go to the site and check it out. And our Grandison beanie, our Pack and Go windbreaker crushes. And cool thing is, if you cop anything from the online store, that goes directly into supporting the podcast. Also, I wanted to mention the New England Am is coming up. It's November 4th and 5th in Taunton, Mass. At the Edge Indoor Skate Park. And it's going to be sick. We're going to have a 14 and under division, 15 and over division, as well as a best trick. We'll have, for the first time, a ladies division, which I'm really hyped to watch. And we're going to have, to end the whole 2-day extravaganza off, we're going to have the skate shop invite division. That's where we have 30 skate shops come and battle it. They bring 3 riders each and battle it till we end up with top shop. As always, myself, Brandon Westgate, Nick Dompierre, we'll all be there. Pachinski's been there in the past. Manny, I've reached out to these guys. Hopefully we can get the homies to come as well. But it's crazy. As you can imagine, 30 shops, so hundreds of kids, 2-day event. We have an after party and usually live music in between. If you can make it out, I would say don't blow it. It's going to be sick. And it's our 4th annual. I can't believe we've been doing this for 4 years. It's fucking sick. Last thing, before we get into this episode, I never really plugged my pro shoe for World. I'm not sure why, so I'm trying to be more proactive. But if you want to check it out, you can go to worldindustries.com, and let me just go to it right now just to make sure I'm right. worldindustries.com, and the first thing you'll see is my shoe, and you can check it out there, all the specs. Super hyped on what we came up with and designed together. It's a very durable skate shoe, and you put it on, it breaks in right away, and they last forever. I've been shredding mine. You know, they're toasted, but they're still going. No hole or anything. So if you're in need of a new skate shoe and you want a good one, head to worldindustries.com. And again, anything you cop from there also helps support this podcast, a portion of it. They have tons of apparel and skateboards as well. Today's episode is we were driving to Boston to skate. And it's me, Derek Fukuhara, Timmy Knuth. Those guys came out to my house for about a week, Sunday to Sunday, and we just skated. It was sick. I had the whole week off, and those guys were out here just to shred and check out the East Coast. And and Jeff, my good homie Jeff, is in the back seat as well. This is a fun podcast because we're just on the move and we're shooting the shit about anything and everything.
Thrive, prosper. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I gotta get on it.
I just love the skating and the scene. Rain, go away. All I need is a skateboard today.
This is the Shetler Show featuring professional skateboarder, podcaster, and All I Need Skate founder, Anthony Shetler.
So it was hot. Everyone was doing it.
Yeah, they're looking for their dad's fucking metal skateboards in the garage.
Yeah, exactly.
Get on this thing.
Each episode brings you amazing discussions with interesting people from all walks of life.
Kind of when skateboarding clicked for me, and you learn some tricks or whatever, and you get that appreciation from your peers, you know? The other skaters are like, holy shit, like, yeah, dude, that's rad.
Admiration.
Yeah, the admiration or the affirmation.
Real, recognized real.
If I didn't experience those crazy moments in my life, then these great moments would never be as great as they have been.
Honestly, like for me, I just loved it. Like I saw those dudes, I saw those videos, and I was like, holy fuck, this is sick.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do.
Shit down, I start drinking water and the door opens and a random fucking dude at 4 a.m. walks into my hotel room and passes out on my cot. With some random dude our age with just basketball shorts and no shirt.
He was crushing it.
Fucking just goes to sleep on my cot and I gotta wake this dude up. Has no idea where he is. Turns out he's smoking like heroin or some shit in the hallway because it just smelled like burnt tire rubber.
Jeez.
And then I take him downstairs and he just starts being a dickhead to the, like, just straight being like white privilege.
Wait, so when did all the motorcycle people chase you?
This is in this is the beginning of the night.
That was the first thing.
That was the first thing. All started because I fucking shotgunned a tall can.
And that was still at like 2:45 in the morning.
Yeah, that was on our way home we pretty much like sped walk back to the hotel from there.
Campus 3.
No, that's exactly what it was. Because we tried to go to the castle and they wouldn't let us in because they were closing.
There's a castle?
Well, there's a bar called the Castle. You've probably been there. It's really weird. It's like on the other. There's like the strip, and then you like go through that mall with movie theaters. It's on the other side.
Yeah,
for sure, probably been there. And then we couldn't even get in because it was like cracking. But somehow Mendenhall slides in because when we show up, there's literally 30 biker dudes pouring out of the place. Like, where the fuck is he? And they start tearing down this chain link fence to the back. Look, 30 dudes, and one of them's like, I got my fucking knife tonight. Somebody's gonna die. Like you're just hearing all this crazy shit going, and
that's
we're like,
sketchy.
And Mendenhall got in through the commotion. And
where is this? Florida?
This is Ybor. Of
Ybor,
course.
right.
Makes sense. And then we're waiting for Mendenhall, and we come out. We get hot dog. The whole point was to just go get hot dogs.
Yeah.
And then Mendenhall drops his hot dog. I'll never forget the look on his face. He's so drunk. He drops his hot dog and he just looks up at me like a little kid that dropped his ice cream.
Dropped his hot dog.
And he just looks at me so sad, and I'm like, so I bought him another one just because he just was looking like a little kid.
Mendenhall could give you that little kid look.
Dude.
For sure.
And then we like start leaving, and these two biker dudes are following us, and we're trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. And so Mendenhall goes like across the street at Ybor, and they follow him, not me and Timmy.
Yeah.
And so Mendenhall goes to the cops.
Smart.
And then me and Timmy are at that little fucking pizza stand on the, there's a little pizza window everybody goes to in Ybor.
Yeah.
And
it's right next to that like club where it's all like trannies and stuff. There's like a right next door because every time I go get a slice there, next door is like a club for like
it sounds familiar,
trannies
like
or
some,
gay, like
sex
a bunch of gay trannies. Like it's like one of those types of places. So I'm always just eating pizza with like a bunch of dudes that look like a chick.
A bunch of fucking
like things.
Genderless.
Yeah.
Not judging anyone's gender.
No, but like whatever they're going for, they got it, and I'm eating pizza with them.
Yeah, and so the fucking bikers walk across the street to us, me and Timmy, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on? I'm like shaking.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, we at the castle. I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm like, we didn't get in though. We got there when it closed. He's like, your friend pushed our friend.
Like, fuck off.
And I'm like, what? And I'm like, dude, we didn't get in. And I'm like, he's like, said some shit. I'm like, I was like, why would we fuck with you guys? I'm pretty sure that's what I said. I was like, why would we fuck with you? We're skateboarders. Like, why would we fuck with, like, you guys?
Motorcycle sketch boys, yeah.
And his response is, people are trying to start just looking for a fight. He goes, calling me a liar? That was his response.
That's the worst.
And that's when they know they're wrong, but they still just want to fight.
They're just drawing a line.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is where my intelligence stops and my ignorance begins. Don't cross it.
Dude, so then we go walk over to the cops where Mendenhall is, and the cops are like not giving a shit. Yeah. And we tell him. And then by the time we look up, there's like fucking 6 of them. And they're like 20 feet away, and the cop goes, "Who? Those guys?" It just points right at him, and there's like 6 of them. They're right there. I'm like, "Thanks,
Did
bro."
they just turn around and walk
like,
away?
No, they just didn't give a. They probably knew the cop. You know, it's like some
okay,
fucking shit. And he's like, "Where are you staying?" We're like, "Down the street." He's like, "Just go back to your hotel." I'm like, "We're like, you're right there. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna just run after us as soon as we fucking step away."
Help us. Yeah, help us do your
So
job.
we just like sped walk back. And then all that other shit happened where the fucking pimp and then the dude walking into the room and went to sleep at like 7. Had to take the dude downstairs, and he just started being a dickhead to the fucking. He was like, "It's your job to tell me what room I'm in," and shit. And Timmy's just hammered with the
Wait,
beer.
who's this guy?
The dude who walked into my room. At
Oh,
4 in the
that's what you're
morning.
saying. Yeah.
And
So you had to like take him downstairs
because he
and
couldn't
maybe
figure out what fucking room he was in. Turns out, of course, he was next door.
Nice.
But like he's just starts being a dick, and Timmy comes down with mental. Timmy's like hammered with a beer. He's like 20,
Yeah.
and he just starts Uncle Timming this dude. He's like,
Full glassy eyed.
dude, yeah. Tim's just like, dude.
I might have a big idea.
Yeah, you had a fake idea. Just remember you were. I remember you were 21.
might
He
have
had
a fake
beer
idea.
downstairs on the counter. He was resting his beer on the counter, and he starts talking to the dude like, "Dude, you just gotta take responsibility for your actions." And he starts like schooling this dude, and Timmy's like 20 and hammered. And then
That's the guy to take advice from.
The same thing that Timmy's fucking card stopped working. So the same thing that dude needed. Timmy was just super polite to the dude, and he was shit faced, and he was just like, "Hey, my card stops working. Could you like fucking switch this for me?" And the dude's like, "Yeah, no problem." But the same thing that the dude was asking for, but he's being a dick. He wouldn't.
He wouldn't do it
for the other dude, but he just did it right in front of Timmy. And then they brought security, and they made the dude sleep in the lobby in his fucking shorts and no shirt until his friends came down the next morning.
Well, they didn't make him sleep. He probably just passed out. Yeah.
But they wouldn't let him. Yeah, they're just like, "There's a couch. Good luck."
All that story, which I don't know how much I actually recorded, but I cut in the middle there, or like at the beginning. But that all came because we just pulled into Dunkin's, and I totally bummed out that biker guy. You're right, dude. It was a Sunday. That's why I didn't fight with him. I was just like, we pull up to Dunkin's, and the dude's parked in the lane with his motorcycle, but we can't see his car because there's cars next to it and stuff. And there was still enough room for me to park. We all agree?
Yeah.
That was like...
No, you fully pulled in.
But I was rude, for sure. But he was like, "Oh, come on, what the fuck, come on." And I was like, "Dude, this is someone's... Yeah, it's a Sunday, he's on a bike, you guys totally were right about that. It's someone's uncle, like...
He's
I didn't want to
gearing
bum him
up for
out.
his ride.
Yeah, he just seemed... He didn't even, like, get mad. You'd think, like, the biker guy would be pissed. He just got bummed out.
So
Like, we...
he's just bummed.
Yeah, we like bummed him out. I was like, okay, that's why I kind of laughed, because I was like, was not expecting that. I thought he'd be like a hard ass biker, like beat it, but no. So that's why I just moved. I literally just asked him, "Did that bum you out?"
Fuck?
Yeah, well, like it's meant for one vehicle, and he's totally right. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I wasn't really trying to park though. I was just trying to turn around, but then I saw a guy there, so I was like,
You just wanted to test it.
I just want to take a second. Like, I didn't want him to think I was going to hit his bike, you know?
It's like your social experiment to see how he would
Kinda.
react.
Kinda.
It's like, let's test this person today.
So, for the people listening, we got Derek Fukuhara in the car, Timmy Knuth, and we got Jeff in the back. And Derek and Timmy have been staying with us since Sunday. It's Sunday today, so it was a whole week there. And we've been shredding. We went to Maine yesterday. How you feeling about your trip, dude? A little rained out, though.
By shredding, he means we've been drinking Dunkin' Donuts and eating fucking Boston cream pies and fucking all week.
Dude,
rain.
I do that like almost. There's days where I go every day with getting coffee and a Boston cream.
That's your go-to?
Yeah, is that bad? Should I eat a Boston cream donut every day?
I don't think so. It's not broken.
What's that?
I don't think so. It's not broken.
It works. I get worried that I'm gonna fucking just become some fat dude later in life because all those Boston creams are gonna catch up to me.
Just wake up one day.
But we've been going pretty good. It's just been raining a lot, which is fucking annoying. But we've skated a lot for how much it's rained. We went to the Orchard Bowl, which was sick. Timmy fucked that thing out. That was sick. You almost had that blunt, Trey.
Almost.
fuck you, right?
I got an angle. Looks like you landed it if you cut it with the 3-second rule.
Alright, we'll just insta bullshit it.
It's like 3-second roll with the slow-mo. So it's really like you stayed on for half a second, but when you slow-mo it, it counts.
That's a good idea. Film everything in slow-mo and just barely ride away, and it'll look like you rode away forever. Genius.
Smoke and mirrors, bros.
Do you have access to Boston Creams back home this season?
Yeah, but
Not as
I
good.
got access to like some real snobby coffee too, so
Yeah, I
I
get it.
normally opt for that. I actually have access to all the donuts in the world in my fucking kitchen.
Oh yeah, Caffeinated Kitchen.
Shout out Caffeinated Kitchen.
Choo, choo, choo.
Little plug.
Yeah, sponsors. Derek's lady, fucking give me the rundown. Just she makes.
This episode of the Settler Show, sponsored by the Caffeinated Kitchen.
Choo, choo, choo. Does she have an online store?
No,
She sells directly to like local spots in Long Beach.
yeah, so she has like over 25 accounts in like the Orange County and Long Beach area. And it's so sick because this is like, there's more Caffeinated Kitchen updates on the Shetler Show than my life updates.
I know, I love it. For
So,
some reason, I'm just super
so
interested
sick.
in the Caffeinated Kitchen.
So,
every time you guys talk,
Dude, every time. And we have progress. Last time we talked,
yeah, it was
not
a
much
little bleak.
progress.
It was a little bleak last time, I remember.
this time we have updates for you guys.
Nice.
I know you guys have been waiting on the Shetler Show.
They have. If they listen to last episodes, they're like me nail biting on the side right now.
Yeah, you asked me last episode.
How many
and I was
more
like,
donuts?
Fuck, there's not same shit. No,
I know.
now she's like verbally agreed to opening up a space.
Nice.
It's gonna be right by her house, and it's like gonna be this sick shared space where there's like a coffee pop up, and then there's like another business that's gonna open up, and it's like attached to all these sick like architecture firms and all this hip shit.
Yeah.
So they've already had like the blueprints, and Jen's gone over them, and it's a dude who owns like a few successful restaurants in Long Beach. So he's gonna help out, and you know, when you start a business from scratch like that, it's always good to have somebody who's been through it before.
Yeah.
Especially opening a fucking any sort of food, cafe, restaurant, you know.
There's
like,
probably so much shit that you would just fuck up because you don't know. But if you have some, yeah. But if you had someone there who's been through the ringer and they can help you out, I'm sure.
Yeah, so he's gonna throw a little bit of money in to build out the space because you know, even if she leaves, then he'll still have that. But he's really interested in working with her in her business because he knows that she has like this big following on social media, and it's just like a great look for his property.
Yeah.
So that's great news. So I'm probably in the next 6 months gonna never see my girlfriend.
That's alright though, she'll be building something sick.
But it'll be cool too because it's really close to our house. It's like maybe like 3 blocks away, so we'll have like another creative hub to just be able to go down, get a cup of coffee. Even if I don't talk to her, I can just go kick it and have a space and, you know,
That's
do
sick.
my fucking thing.
Well, that's good. It seems like that's good progression moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Try out
Yeah, it's great.
the restaurant type deal.
And it's like, we've seen so many people since she's had her business in the past couple of years. We've seen so many people open locations and become successful in that small amount of time, and they don't have nearly the following that she does.
Yeah.
So she was just very tentative, but it's like, yo, your shit is gonna fucking work. She's a hard worker. She's a smart chick. Like, it's gonna work.
Yeah.
You know.
If you don't give up and you just keep adjusting and figure out, because like the only time you give up is when you hit a problem, you know. And if you can't solve the problem, then that's kind of on you. You can always downsize and approach differently or try a different way, you know. Like you got to get over those fucking walls.
Mm-hmm.
That's what separates someone from being successful or not, you know.
It's really cool. Like now that I'm like done. Now that I say the word like 70 times already in this podcast.
Nice.
But
that's
now
one that I do too. Yeah. Don't worry.
Now that I've been engulfed in this world of business the last couple of years and getting more comfortable with it as we're skateboarders, so you know that's something that we're not really.
We try to avoid.
Yeah.
When you're younger, you just want to skate. You don't want to like go crunch numbers and worry about bills and like all that shit. You just want to go skate. Be
Absolutely.
the dude who skates. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's cool getting involved and just learning about it, and it's not so black and white, you know. When you own a business, or especially if you own it, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it.
It's your business, yeah.
And if you fail, that's cool. Like, And I think with business, you learn a lot about failures and continue to move on and adapt. And like I said, it's not black and white. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can be creative. You can take different lanes. Nobody can tell you what you can or can't do with it. Obviously, laws.
Yeah.
But, you know, as long as you're not being a shitty person, you're providing and creating a sense of community, you can really do anything and just test. That's what we say at High Rise at Doobie Talk. Everything is just test and adapt.
Yeah.
And it's fun to do that and see what works and what doesn't work, and not taking it seriously. And I mean, take it seriously, but you're not just trying to fucking get rich, you know. You're trying to build something.
Yeah. And that takes time, and you don't want to, like, you know, a lot of people didn't get into it and it's just going to come together nicely, but it's never like that. It's very seldom. It's always pretty messy, and you got to, like, keep growing and adapting, because you got to start somewhere. Not everyone goes into business with a shit ton of money and, like, experience, you know?
It's like your child, you know? Like, we don't have kids, but having these businesses, it is like having a kid, and you can nurture it the way you want and see how it grows.
Yeah, which is really awesome. Which it kind of leads us into Doobie Talk. How's that going?
Doobie Talk's going pretty well, man.
Break it down for us. Like, how did it come to be? Who's involved? And how often do you do it? Stuff like that.
Yeah, so you guys, if you haven't listened to me on any of these Shetler shows, like, what I do outside of skateboarding, it's, I do media for my friend's company called The High Rise Co. It's like
what up, boys?
Shout out The High Rise Co. at The High Rise Co. on Instagram. It's like it's a cannabis influence, like, clothing company. And then a couple years ago, we started High Rise TV, which I started with him, and that's just like a cannabis influence YouTube channel where we do, like, reviews on products. We do a bunch, as fucking Shetler is sparking up right now. We do product reviews. We do a bunch of hijink videos, some cinematically cool shit, and then
you guys pump out a lot of content.
Yeah, we pump out content like 3 to 7 days a week, and then we started our podcast. We got, like, a cool little following off that in the first year and a half, and we started our podcast called the Doobie Talk Podcast, and that's where we're bringing value, and we're kind of telling the story behind the High Rise and how some just stoner skateboarders have been able to start these businesses and live off of them. So the kids who've followed the High Rise since jump, and, you know, they're interested, we want to share how we did it, and we want to try to inspire some of these young kids that don't know what they want to do, and give them the tools and some of the avenues and some information to help steer them in the right direction.
That's sick. And what prompted the podcast? Because you guys you're doing like apparel stuff, you're doing the YouTube channel, you're doing all the social media, and, like, why the value in the podcast? Just to tell the mission statement?
Yeah, that's part of it. It all kind of came together perfectly. So I've always wanted to do a podcast, like, forever. For at least the last 5 years, I've had a mic. I've done a couple beta ones, but timing wasn't right. You know, timing is everything. And then, so with High Rise, like, when I started working with my buddy Aaron, it was super sick because he's so humble. He never wanted to be the face of his own company. He never wanted to be a Nicky Diamonds or whatever. He just wanted to see his company grow, and he wanted to build it. But as we're moving into this age of influencers and social media, like, people, they want to follow a person, and you are your brand, you know? So we almost made it look like it was this big company, but there was only 2 or 3 of us.
Yeah.
And now we want to be like, look, it's actually only fucking 2 or 3 of us, and, like, you guys can do this shit, you know? So he wanted to do that. We started about a year ago. We both, like, I started, like, reading a gang about a year ago, and then we both started getting into a bunch of cool different shit. Like, he started getting into Gary Vee, and we started getting into Tim Ferriss, and started finding all these influential people that are very inspiring, and kind of that switched his brain and making him want to be the business owner that puts his face out there and provides value for people.
Yeah.
And the way I always looked at High Rise, even before I started working with him, is I'm like, yo, dude, this is so sick. High Rise is bigger than just a clothing brand, you know? Like, one day it could be something way bigger. And then we started a YouTube channel, and we somehow got this fucking good following.
You guys worked your ass off for the following.
Yeah.
You figured out the content that was working, and you churned it out, and you built up a following. for sure.
Yeah, so it's a lot of hijinks, and I want to provide value to these kids. Like, now we have a platform to where we can share knowledge, and like, I like doing fun shit, but I'm a fucking nerd, and like, I'm always digging deeper to like personal growth and development. And
well, if you can do it, why not? Like, if you're just lay comfortable in what got you to the show, you're just not going to grow from there. So it's like, let's try to adapt and try a different approach and bring more value to the show. Makes perfect sense. And I think that's awesome that Aaron wants to take more of like leadership role in the face of the brand thing, because I mean, why you do what you do is more important, and the more you know the people, the more you understand their purpose, and see the authenticity if it's there, or if it's not, like, the more you know the people churning out the content and stuff, the more you understand their motives,
Absolutely.
Which helps you, if you know someone's doing something for a crazy reason you don't agree with, then, you just steer clear of it,
And then it just puts us in touch with a lot of our following, like now.
Yeah. You'll find your audience too, because if Aaron steps up and is like, you guys are doing it through the podcast, talking about why you did what you did and how you're doing it, people are going to understand you even more.
Absolutely.
You'll find the right people, right audience.
Now we get DMs to our personal Instas that are just asking questions, like curious kids, or it's cool. We've had people hit us up like, yo, listen to the last podcast, you guys talk about like pixels and funnels and segmenting your email lists and shit like that, and we've had like a couple emails of people that run businesses in the cannabis community that are like, yo, I just set up a pixel on my website, like, I'm going to start segmenting my emails this week. I'm like, yo, let us know how it goes if you run into any problems. So every podcast we give some sort of value, whatever it is that we're implementing ourselves into our business, whatever we're learning, whether it's personal development or whether it's business, marketing, social media. And then we talk about what's going on with High Rise, our successes and our failures from the week. And then we just bullshit. Like last podcast, we talked about like fucking Nicolas Cage's spending habits. So.
Did you bring him up just because I look like him?
No, but I definitely brought up that you look like him. That's
we had like a thread. We had like a text thread of Nicolas Cage in there.
Nicolas Cage.
Is there a bunch of Nick Cage faces on cats? For sure. That's got to be.
I'm sure there is.
I feel like someone showed me that before.
Yeah.
There is, right?
Yeah.
There's like a website dedicated to Nicolas Cage's face on cats.
So
I think.
On everything.
Yeah.
Not just cats. It's literally anything in the world.
Have you guys seen the YouTube video Nicolas Cage loses his shit?
No.
Okay. Fucking push pause right now if you're listening to this and go YouTube Nicolas Cage loses his shit.
I'll try to play it up in like a picture-in-picture mode or something.
Yeah, it's just like a fucking 5-minute montage of him losing his shit in all the movies he's in.
Perfect. I'll have to watch it. Oh
Whatever.
shit. Watch out, cars. We're on our way to Eggs, by the way. We're driving because we got rained out for a couple days on this trip. We made the best of it. We got the residue from the hurricanes, so like it's all coming up here now. Just when these guys flew in from sunny California.
Thanks, Jose.
But we've been.
Jose?
I don't know which. There's so many. I don't know. I couldn't tell you which is which.
Just coming back to back to back.
Yeah. So these guys got here. We got one day of street skating, which was sick, around Boston. We went to Lynch Family Skatepark and we skated this spot called Candyland, and that was sick. And then we got rained out, so we went to the Edge. And then we also went to Maine and New Hampshire. We did a lot, but we just kept kind of trying to dodge the rain. But today's beautiful, and these guys are going to fly out. So I figured we'll go hit Eggs, because it's like a staple spot in Boston, ledge spot. It's pretty classic. You guys probably already know. I want to ask Timmy about what happened with your flight.
What was that?
On the way out here. How do you miss your flight when you sleep right next to it? I can hold it. It's loud enough, I think.
I just went a little too big the night before.
Yeah, but didn't you even like stay right next to the hotel?
Yeah, I drove from Oceanside and stayed in a hotel right next to LAX and went out with a couple friends from Florida and just went a little bit too big. And
Did you set your alarm?
Yeah.
You slept through your alarm?
Yeah, 2 of them.
Damn. Why were you going so big? Just because you had friends in town?
Friends in town, yeah.
Nice. Sometimes you gotta do that.
Yeah, it was expensive. Flightless.
Yeah, Derek's about to take off from, where'd you fly out of?
LA.
LA, and he's like, yo, I don't know what's going on. I get a text. Yo, I don't know what's going on, but my flight's about to take off, and Timmy's not here. And I'm like, and his phone's dead. And I'm like, oh, okay, I wonder what's going on. And Tarek's about to take off and not know his whole flight. And then Timmy hits me up eventually. When your phone was dead, your battery died?
It died after I woke up and then fucking plugged it in.
Yeah, then I figure out Timmy just blacked out. And then you had to buy a ticket, and how much was it going to cost you?
It was like almost $600.
Fuck, dude, that would have
to just change it on the Delta one.
Yeah.
To stay on the same, like, fucking airlines. So I switched it, or then I called him back, canceled that $600 one, and got a cheaper one with American for like $250, like less than half.
Way better, way better. I know. I was like, damn, he's gonna have to pay $600 just to get out here. Tough.
More expensive than the whole round trip.
Yeah, I was like, Jesus, that's a lot of money spent to that airline with only one flight.
One person, one.
How's Winnie? Winnie's good, right?
Yeah.
I saw your Winnie shirt. It gets me hyped every time.
Yeah.
Makes me want an Elwood shirt.
She's a year and a half now.
Fuck yeah.
It's my dog.
First dog?
Not my kid.
It's not here for the kid or girlfriend.
Timmy just has a kid now.
Never.
That'd be interesting. Never? You don't think you'd ever have a kid? Ever? Never, ever. How old are you?
26.
And you're saying never already. Never. That's confidence. I kind of believe it.
What are the reasons? Top 3 reasons to not have a kid from Timmy Knuth.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm poor.
Nice.
That's a good reason.
I'm a kid myself.
Very smart.
Nice.
I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Tell
Timmy.
a kid to do it.
That's what you call a self-aware 26-year-old right there.
That and then like all the kids I see having kids.
Yeah,
Just seems horrible.
terrifying.
Yeah, it's like all the people that you hear, they're like, yeah,
All
I'm
the
having a
people that
kid.
shouldn't have kids have kids.
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
most part.
You're like,
Just like a vicious cycle.
The thing I worry about is like the people that try to convince you to have kids or to get married. Those people freak me out because I'm like, why are you so invested in what we're doing?
yeah.
Like if it's so good, you should be busy doing what you're
Come over
doing.
to the dark side.
Yeah, I'm like, relax, bro, relax. Because I'm on Timmy's tip with that one. Like I'm trying to live my life
Well,
still.
you didn't want to go to college, get a job, get married, kill yourself.
Yeah, follow the rules, maybe.
You didn't want to go have a picnic on a Saturday with like 6 other families because you can't do anything with your kid.
The best is like when you hear like a comedian talking about the conversations. I can't remember who it is.
Double Negative, Ari Shafir.
Maybe.
His new special is all about
So
like
good,
not
man.
having kids.
Oh yeah, I think it might have been like Joe Rogan or somebody. He's talking about how he has to have conversations with his kids' friends' dads and shit,
Yeah.
and how it's the worst interactions always. I don't know. I love kids though. Kids are the fucking best. I just don't want one either.
There's like so many reasons. Like
The fucking quiet guy in the back, Jeff. Could you ever consider having a kid?
no man, I'd be so bummed.
Everybody, Derek, you?
So when it comes to marriage and having kids, like I would rather have a kid than get married because like what the fuck is marriage, you know? But then it's legally binding paperwork. But then having a kid is something that like emotionally, like as a human being, has to be like so special, you know? Like fucking reproduce and look at that shit like Dave Chappelle says, like you came out of my nuts. You know, like you could
Just like that.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like imagine smoking weed and looking at your kid.
No,
like
no,
the
I
fucking
don't.
feeling you get would be so crazy.
Yeah.
But fuck, like
Well, you're
I wanna
God,
be,
you're
me
a
and my chick
creator,
are
Adam.
both from like fucking families that communication was just horrible and broken up and all that shit. So like we don't have that like fantasy, that Disney fantasy, you know? Like we're realistic about it. Like we both have goals and we both have dreams. We both want to do shit, see the world together. Like I've learned more about myself in the last 2 years than I have my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I didn't have a kid before that.
Yeah.
You know, like
Agreed.
every book I read, every fucking thing I watch, I learn about parenting and how, you know, like but I don't fucking really want to have a kid, you know?
Well, we should learn to nourish our own lives first. Like,
Absolutely.
figure out how to, like, develop ourselves and get into situations where we're not, you know, you gotta grow. You gotta learn to be an adult. It takes time. Like, you could be young and still be adult-like, you know, or take on responsibility and all that stuff, but it takes time, you know? It's scary because so many people just have kids right away.
All figured out.
And they're kids, and it's, that's the thing is, like, it's, if you have a kid, now you have to give up your own shit.
There's a lot of...
You should arrest your development, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I feel like there's a lot of, like, regret, I feel like, for young kids like that, because they, like, can't be selfish, like, have that time for themselves.
And you need that.
Like, to travel or do whatever.
And you need that time to develop, because you got to go out and make mistakes, sink into culture, feel the world, figure out what the fuck's what, so you can find purpose, so you can know why you do it, you know?
And you can teach through experience.
Yeah.
You know, like, and then figure your own shit out, so it's not like a do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Because you got to lead by example. And then on top of that, like, one of the main things to me as well is, where the fuck are we gonna be in 5 or 10 years? You know, like, I already look at how hard it must be to raise a kid with all of these fucking iPads and iPhones and social media and shit.
Yeah.
Like, where are we gonna be in fucking 5 or 10 years? But I mean, I guess it comes down to communication with anything, you know, like, you can't just sit here and be like, I'm the adult, I'm the authority. Like, you have to talk to your kid and you have to ask them what's going on. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, teach me about this shit.
Oh, because the kid's gonna adopt the technology way easier.
And then, like, as an adult, you're gonna want to, like, resist against it. But as we go into this future, whatever the fuck we're going, if you have a kid, it seems like you have to learn from them.
Yeah.
And the communication has to be there. Like Rogan always talks about, you got to talk to your kid like an adult. And and it's okay to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, when your kid's like, why is this? Say, I don't know. And now you have the fucking tool to find that answer in your hand instead of just telling your kid, I don't know, and then you keep fucking scrolling through Instagram yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not a good answer.
So that's one thing that kind of scares me about having a kid is, like, I don't know how I'm going to adapt to this fucking future of technology. How am I supposed to lead somebody through it when I don't know what the fuck, how to handle it myself, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I could see having a kid. I don't want a kid right now because I'm still, like, just enjoying skateboarding and doing cool stuff and, like, stuff that brings you joy, you know? Like, shit, you're like, God, let's go over to fucking Maine and skate some random park. Like, it's ridiculous, but if I had kids, all that time would be gone, you know? Like, it's cool to have people that want to go do stuff, you know? But I could see it. If you had a kid, you'd have to that would be your main focus, would be the development of that child. At least for the first 2 years, right? That's like a 2-year loss. Not a loss, but because of gain, because you're having a child, but for you, your 2 years of just providing. If you don't have money either, people have kids and they got families that will give them more ability to be a kid still, you know? Because that's what it is, I imagine. It's like you have a kid, you lose your ability to be a kid, so now you're just not happy in life and you're trying to raise a kid, you know? But if you had someone with money, they could be like, oh, well, you can still get 2 days off to just, like, go have fun with your friends and I'll watch your kid or something. That would be a better situation, maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You think that happens?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, and because, like you said, like, there's a lot of people that are promoting it, like family members, like, when are you gonna have a kid? When are you gonna have a kid? Oh, have a kid. I'll help you take care of it. I'll help you take care of it.
Yeah.
And it's like their motives because they want to be.
They want to be
an uncle or aunt or a grandparent, you know, because they can brag to their friends. And some people are in that situation where, you know, everybody has a different idea of family, you know, and how important it is.
It's cool because we're to the point now. That's always my argument when someone tries to pressure me into shit. I'm like, we're at the point now where not everybody has to have a kid. It's like there's so many fucking people. So, like, people that want to have kids can have kids, and we're going to keep going on, I'm sure, you know? Like, there's people out there that just aren't going to have kids, you know?
Get a dog first and try it out.
Yeah, dogs are tight. Dogs are tight. Problem is, you might want 20 dogs one day because you start getting used to how to take care of them, and then it becomes a little easier. And then you're like, I could see, like, wanting more dogs, you know. Don't let fucking Dash hear that though. Don't. She'll be like buying dogs without asking me.
Dog shopping.
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous. We're talking about skateboarding, family, and dogs today on the show. Their show. Jeff, I think you could have a kid.
Oh man, don't even.
Not right now.
Don't put that heat on.
Not right now. Not right now. You're a bit low card right now, but in like a good way. You know, like skate.
I'm sure it would be fine. Like, I'd take responsibility, whatever. Raise a child, love it. It would be amazing.
Yeah.
But I don't want that at all.
But I feel like Jeff's the type of dude that would handle that if it happened.
I feel like we all could.
Yes, I'm sure we all could.
And we just want to
amazing
get
dads.
it.
Yeah.
A car full of amazing dads that are never gonna have.
Yeah.
Amazing dads. Should we start a band? Should we start a band?
Dads.
The Amazing Dads. It's a 4-person band.
The
We're all
amazing
dads.
Dad non-experience.
Self-proclaimed amazing dads.
But I mean, but the only reason I'm saying that about Jeff is because like he looks like he would just transition well into a dad. Like
Does he
put
have a
a
mustache?
yeah, throw the dad cap on him and like a bar, like one of those. Get him in front of a barbecue, and you're like, yeah, that's someone's dad.
Just swap out his fucking New Balances. Just
Yeah.
those New Balances on it.
You'd be like, that's someone's dad for sure.
These shoes on now, guys.
Just walk up to him and be like, whose kid is yours?
Can we talk about the 11-year-old dad that was at the skate park yesterday?
What do you mean?
The young one that was skating with
All saying
us.
he was gonna drive off in his F-150.
Oh.
There was a kid at the skate park that looked like he'd been working in the mill for 17 years, but he was only 11.
Tony, right?
Tony.
Tony was the
He
man.
had the tucked-in stained shirt.
He kept saying about like, he kept being like, he was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna land this. I'm not gonna leave until I land this. He kept saying that with everything.
I was waiting for him to
He's
land
very
it so he could
focused.
leave and drive off in his F-150.
Was he really driving that?
No, but he was like 11 and he looked like he's been working every day for like 40 years. Like calloused hands,
That's
stained shirt.
that didn't stand out that much to me, but it's probably because you're used to California, huh?
It was sick. Because the kids back home like want to look like that kid.
Yeah.
Like he looked like he'd had a fucking Budweiser every night.
Well,
for,
like his
40 years.
I like that type of kid has like a dirty white shirt on, like he just got out of work.
Yeah, it was
and like his
tucked in.
collar's stretched out, but it's tucked in.
He had like a little beer belly.
He did. He was
He had
shaking.
some like worker pants on, like a fucking faded hat from the sun.
In that fakie flip though, right? Nailed it. He took brutal slams. Me and him were trading slams.
You guys did. When he got trying to get your back after you slammed, he took the same exact hipper.
Yeah. Tony knew because he seemed like he was working a 40-hour week that week.
That's what I'm saying.
And he knew. He was like, you
got
gotta
off.
get it while you can. Like, take
Exactly.
these slams right now.
It's like, this is my time. He's like the dude on the motorcycle.
He was like,
don't bother me.
he was definitely 11. Yeah, today, that guy. How funny was that? I'm surprised you guys didn't laugh. I couldn't help it. I just barged that guy's spot kind of on purpose. I wasn't really planning on parking there.
His reaction was the best though when you pause. He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he just put his hands in the air and goes,
just bummed.
"What the
He's just
fuck?"
trying to chill in his parking spot.
Yeah, he was just bummed, and that's what made
He
me.
just ruined his whole coffee morning.
But
bike ride.
no way.
Real prick.
I wasn't mean. I didn't say anything mean. I just was like, "This bums you out." And he's
Just
like, "Well, come on, it's a
solidified
one spot."
Bikers get no respect at all. In his
Fuck
mind,
these
he fucking
kids.
hates cars now.
Well, when he went like, "Oh fuck," when I pulled in the spot next to his bike, I was just like, "Oh, he's probably fucking been working. He's on his bike. He's bummed out because I'm raining on his parade by parking too close." I was like, I felt kind of fucking bad for him. Maybe they don't get any respect.
I don't think so anymore because it's like a bunch of fucking young hipsters that all ride motorcycles and they're like us.
Yeah.
They're like old core skateboarders and they gotta deal with fucking like trends and shit and get
Yeah.
all bitter. Is that what we are? Am I saying that we're all fucking bitter? Wait, what? But I mean, like, you know, it's like
I'm
core
not that
skateboarding.
bitter.
It's
I'm
like
not bitter.
old core skaters seeing the young kids and then
Yeah.
do the same shit as like these old bikers and now they're seeing all these fucking young kids.
Yeah, I mean that's one version. I've been that at times where you're like, oh, like you when the light's on you and then it's not on you, it's on someone else, and you're like, it should still be on me. You know, like there's shit like that happens. I've felt that before. Then you just go, fuck it. Like you just gotta do things for your own reasons.
100%.
Yeah, because then it's like that's the internal fire. There's no approval from anybody or anything, and everyone becomes a character. That's the beautiful thing I love about skateboarding. Like, there should always be more people because everyone can have some different interpretation or style. The sad thing is people follow the trends, and then it's just one fucking thing after another. You know, like how many carbon copies of styles are we gonna see? You know.
Yeah.
Everyone's unique. It would be sick if everyone was just uniquely themselves. That doesn't always
100%.
happen because people want points and money or fame or notoriety from skateboarding. But that's like what we get bummed out. I get bummed out about that sometimes.
Yeah, I think a lot of it too is like young kids trying to. I mean, I was one of these kids. You're
Yeah,
a
me
young
too,
kid
me
trying
too,
to
me
find
too.
yourself.
Yeah.
And you identify with people who seem they're like-minded, and then you want to kind of.
Or you're inspired by
Yeah,
them,
you
so
wanna
you want to
kinda-
emulate them
Mhm.
a bit. You know, like
and then you want to be accepted into a culture, and this is what you think. You do what you think you need to do, because when you're young, you want to stand out, but you don't stand out like too much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And especially as a skateboarder.
You want to be noticed and get some appreciation and recognition.
But it's like the fine line of being like too eccentric, which nowadays skateboarding is like accepting of that, you know?
Yeah.
Of being like over eccentric.
Well, it just seems like there's no gatekeepers, so anyone who wants to get involved, good, bad, and ugly, can. And that's how it should be, right?
Absolutely.
There should be skateboarders that you're like, I don't necessarily agree with their approach or their fucking attitude. Because that means, like, they can have access to skateboarding too, right?
Yeah.
So that's fair. That's one thing when, like, people hate too much and they're just hating to get rid of, like, shit they don't like. It becomes so, like, about them, you know? That they're just burning everything down because it's all about them. It's like, that happens too.
Oh, yeah.
Which is gnarly.
Yes.
I can only imagine what kids go through nowadays with social media, because when we were, like, going through it and discovering skating and even school and shit, like, we didn't have this virtual place to get made fun of.
No,
or to be praised, or to be
people
praised.
hating on you behind your back, and you're wondering why you can't get sponsored by a certain company, but it's because fucking
so-and-so
yeah, because
hates
these
you.
gatekeepers behind closed doors, and they see you in your face and they shake your hand for fucking 10 years and act like everything's cool.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's right out in the open. You're like, oh, this dude's talking shit.
Yeah, that's
confront
weird.
him because you're like, what's up?
Or even the opposite, just to get all that praise. Like, some people, like, when you're young and you're super good at something, whether it be skateboarding, music, fucking whatever, people are going to be in awe, you know? So, like, and you're so young, how would you know to handle that? Especially if you had a huge following, you have, like, thousands of people that are like, this is fucking, like, you're going to test your character real quick, right?
Dude, yeah.
Oh, shit, Starro Drive, that's what we need. I like that we're recording this.
We're in the tunnel right now, guys.
Yeah, we are. This is pretty gnarly. I always think about, like, what would happen if, like, the fucking thing collapsed. Like how gnarly. You'd be stuck in this thing.
What would you do right now? I guess you'd have to, like, it depends on.
Like, if up there just the roof fell in and we couldn't go any further, and there's, like, those 5 people in front of us crashed, but we got to stop in time.
I would hope that the Rock just busted through this wall and saved us all.
It'd be so hard.
Batman, dude.
Yeah.
He's
going upside down.
Batman? Oh, yeah, Batman Mobile.
No, you'd have to you'd have to skid out, not crash, and then we'd have to drive back the other fucking way with oncoming traffic like a real action movie. We'd throw Timmy on the roof, because he just seems like he could help us
so you could surf
up there.
Florida.
Well, like, if some shit pops off and Timmy's got to, like, jump off and roll out stuntman style, like, one of us lives on, maybe. I don't know.
Timmy, go without us.
He would survive that slam because he kickflip crook Hollywood 16.
That's our last words. You could do it. Kickflip crook Hollywood.
It's like the same as bailing off of that, for sure, jumping off a roof of a car. How many slams did you take, Timmy?
Dude, we talked about this last time.
I want to be refreshed, though. Did you take how many tries? Was it honestly 10 tries?
Yeah.
How fucking bad were you hurting, or afterwards was your adrenaline just going and you didn't really get hurt?
I didn't really hurt that bad. It was just like, after so many tries, you can only land something. You can only stand up even if you, like, land on it perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
take the impact.
So many.
You have to be fully pitted.
Fully pitted.
Fully pitted. Alright, this is where I always fuck up and go the wrong way, so I'm not going to do that today. To me, to try that on that rail is ridiculous. It's, like, painful. Ridiculous.
I mean, didn't you try to nollie heel board the 12 like 10 years ago?
I had it. I fucking had it.
McKendo shot that, right?
Yeah.
He was filming it?
He was filming it. I had it. Didn't happen.
I remember
though.
he told me about that.
I always got to go back to, like, shit like that, because I always get too exhausted.
Dude, nollie heel board.
Almost.
I remember
Ryan DeCenzo, maybe?
I think you might be right.
Who I'm trying to have on the show. I saw him
Ryan's
down in Tampa, and he was, like, a little tipsy, and I was too, and we just started doing it like an impromptu podcast, and I was like, this guy'd be fun.
He's good, dude.
Yeah.
He's a good one.
And he's Canadian. Those guys are pretty awesome, usually.
Yeah, Ryan's a good fucking dude, man. Yeah, I remember McKendo telling me about the nollie heel board, and I think I, like, asked about some shit, and he's like, oh, I think Shetler tried it.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And I was like, how was he bailed? Like, I had so many questions. I was like, how did he bail? Did he get smoked? Like, did he sack it? Like, how did he get out of
I
it?
feel like if you just go fast, you can clear?
Yeah, I did probably everything in between as well. Like I did board slide, I'm sure, grinded it, did all that stuff, and then started nollying, probably delaying a nollie board slide. By that time, I was probably already tired, but warmed up. So then I was like, all right, I'll start flicking it through a few, and then you start flicking it out there and seeing if the nose goes over the rail. And then I'm sure I just got on one by chance, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And I probably tried like 15 tries of like fully committed and just got robbed, you know, on a few. I'm pretty positive that usually the story. And then I have to go back fresh and like have all that data from that first session, but go back fresh. You know what I mean? Go back fresh and fucking and go, okay, I know what I did wrong the last time. I got to get warmed up quicker and just start going in and then try to commit earlier, and then usually
Wait, so you went back?
No, but I'm saying if I did, like, that's how I would do it.
Yeah, because I'm like comfortable with knowledge.
I didn't go back because I was just visiting, and I just never ended up back at that spot.
Yeah, just mentally getting yourself to go back and want to attack this fucking thing. Because I get like nollie heel nose and nollie heel crooks because you could put your foot on the rail.
Yep.
But then that nollie heel board is a moment where you're like, have that commitment of like, well, I'm just going to fucking rack it.
Well, it's usually like if you can get the flick right and the board comes up over the rail every time, you can still bail it out without committing, but you know it's there. So then when you do like one or two of those, then you just go, all right, sack or land on it. And then you just commit, and usually it's there.
How many times
except
do you
for
sack
those bad
rails?
days?
Like uncountable? Or you can't even count how many times you
sacked rails?
Yeah.
No, I have like 3 or 4 that are pretty brutal.
That kinked rail one was a rough one.
Out here?
No, I think
at Albuquerque.
Yeah,
New Mexico. Red one? Yeah, that one.
That one you're hanging.
That's probably a problem. Yeah, we're hanging.
You sacked 3D rail way back in the day.
Yeah, that one. Then the one in Bridgewater, I sacked. It's like a down flat. It's like a gapped rail down flat.
You sacked the Dew Tour contest rail.
Did I? I didn't fully sack it, did I? I have a lot of half sacks for sure.
Timmy?
Sacked lower road part on that feeble. Hanging.
That was when I like first met you, I think.
Yeah.
You're doing feeble kickflip?
Yeah.
Timmy can sack with the best of them.
That's funny.
You know that Gontrail in Atlanta that's really low?
The black one?
Oh, you sacked
front side? If you're regular, yeah.
Sack that rail.
Would you do that, Smith?
I guess
I smithed it and just being an idiot and thought I could like nose grind it first try and just stacked it.
I like your confidence.
Yeah.
You got great. Confidence went way down after that.
You were juiced from the Smith, though, so you just charged it. I get that. I can get that for sure. Yeah. I don't sack as much as these guys make it sound. Okay.
I'm just curious because I've never real sacked. I've sacked it on a rail I was trying to skate over.
When I was like,
that's weird.
I was like fucking 15.
When I was like 12, I sacked my board trying to hard flip.
Oh, gnarly! That's like a full popsicle
credit
stick.
card, yeah.
That and then 2 other times on fucking bump to bars doing
that's
feebles,
weird.
and my back foot slipped off, and the board went straight up, and I sacked my board over the rail.
Oh, like the rail board was hanging on his truck, and you sacked it. Oh, that's the worst.
You pogoed it, but your shit was on the rail.
Because I like feebling like this, and my back foot slipped off, so I went like that.
Oh shit!
On a nollie feeble and a kickflip feeble, like a week apart.
What is all this we're driving by right now?
This is just chaos in the city in Boston. We're down in this area where the skate park is, and it's just where all the duck boats are. And they get
is this a fucking Alzheimer's walk
well,
right now? As we're smoking weed, like causing ourselves Alzheimer's driving through this.
Is that true? Don't freak me out.
No, I don't know if that's true.
All right. Make me nervous.
But for sure.
But this area
short-term memory.
This area seems like this is where you do it though, because there's traffic, but it's not as bad.
So running's just like a huge thing out here.
I think, dude. I don't know. I'm assuming.
I see so many runners.
Oh, in the cities, for sure. People are running. You got to get exercise. You got to move, right?
Yeah, because you guys only have like 6 months to do it.
Yeah, you got to be active, for sure. Because you're wasting, like, you got to take advantage of the good weather, for sure.
If you want to rip this, I don't know if there's going to be cops or
I'm okay right now. We're pulling up to Lynch Family right now. Yeah, that was good. That was fun. Hey, this trip has been awesome. Thank you guys.
Okay, dude, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no worries. Now we just got to figure out where we can park. Let's hope Timmy doesn't miss his flight home. I'm dropping him off, and it could still happen. Yeah, Dave. Baby Dave shreds, dude. Oh, I see a couple people I know.
Are we skating the skateboard, or are we just going to...
Shall we? I mean, we got time, right? We could do both.
Yeah, the skatepark looks insane.
Should we take a lap at least and then go to, we can just take a lap and then break out. Pretty sick, though.
Pretty Joe. Yeah, make sure you guys go to thehighrisecode.com, use the code word DoobieTalk and get yourself 30% off.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Good plug right at the end. That was perfect. Watch it, bird-ass birds. You think I can park over here, dude?
I don't know.
Probably not, huh? Or probably so.
I should just start telling I'm not even from here. I should just tell, yeah, you're good right here.
Yeah, I know what you're doing, bro. It looks like other people are parked here, but
it used to be kind of chill, but...
Alright. We love you, fuckers. Bye.
Last thing before we get out of here, I'd just like to thank you, the people out there that make this show possible, by copping something from allineedskate.com. It means a lot to me that you try one of our decks or apparel, and it directly keeps the lights on and helps make this show possible. So I'm really grateful, so thank you. And if you've never tried an All I Need deck, please do. Made in the USA, graphics done by Peter James Glenn, a true artist, draws it all out, and tested and ridden by the best amateurs and pros in skateboarding.